The operation of the ProPilot may seem a little intimidating when you consider its extensive feature set, but the basic principles of operation are really quite simple. When the system is turned on, the display screen briefly shows a startup message and then displays the barometric altitude that it senses. In actual practice, the pilot will change the displayed altitude to agree with the primary aircraft altimeter, which has been adjusted to the current barometric conditions. Once the proper baro altitude has been set, a single press of the encoder knob will save the corrected value to memory, and the display screen will then show the default Autopilot screen. The data on the screen shows that the ProPilot is receiving a valid GPS data stream. All appropriate data fields that the GPS is sending can be viewed by the pilot by simply rotating the encoder knob. The horizontal navigation functions are all guided by the GPS. If the pilot programs the GPS for a multi-waypoint flight plan, the Autopilot will fly the flight plan from waypoint to waypoint until it reaches the final destination. If the pilot programs the GPS with a simple go-to command, the Autopilot will fly directly to that destination. The ProPilot does all of this in the default track mode. In other words, it will track the flight plan in the GPS. With a proper GPS flight plan entered into the GPS receiver, it's a simple matter to engage the system to control the ailerons of the aircraft. In flight, once clear of the airport traffic area, the pilot initiates autopilot control of the ailerons by pressing the H-nav button. This activates the aileron servo. The ProPilot will then fly the aircraft to the flight plan course line and remain tightly on that line during the flight. The display will show the GPS commanded course and the actual track that the airplane is flying. When these two numbers match, the aircraft is directly on course. The pilot will likely want to employ the altitude hold during the flight. This is done by engaging the elevator servo to control the vertical navigation. Pressing the VNAV button will activate the vertical navigation functions of the ProPilot, and it will hold the selected altitude. It is best to engage the altitude hold when the aircraft is trimmed for level flight at the desired altitude. If the plane is not trimmed properly when in the altitude hold mode, the display will alert you to trim the aircraft in the proper direction. That's pretty much it for the basic operation. Just put a flight plan into the GPS, press the H-nav button to track the flight plan, and when at the proper altitude, press the VNAV button to hold that altitude.